with the IRDA. Um, in effect, I think personally now the finance minister will have to intervene over here. Dr. Pranab Mukherjee will have to intervene over here to state as to what exactly is the jurisdiction of SEBI. जहां तक सिक्योरिटी एक्सचेंज बोर्ड ऑफ इंडिया का सवाल है, यहां पर डॉक्टर प्रणब मुखर्जी को हस्तक्षेप करना होगा ये बताने के लिए कि सिक्योरिटीज एंड एक्सचेंज बोर्ड ऑफ इंडिया यानी सेबी की हद की सीमा कहां तक है. जहां तक आईपीओ का सवाल है, इनिशियल पब्लिक ऑफरिंग्स का सवाल है, क्या इनिशियल पब्लिक ऑफरिंग्स सेबी के तहत होनी चाहिए या नहीं होनी चाहिए, या मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कॉर्पोरेट अफेयर्स ये तय करेगी कि आईपीओ उन कंपनीज के लिए जो कंपनीज लिस्ट नहीं होना चाहती Bombay Stock Exchange में, because they say, Sara says very clearly that both the companies are unlisted and they don't want to get listed either. That's what they're saying. But so should they be allowed to go in for an IPO if you don't want to get listed? A, and B, under whose jurisdiction does it lie? That is the most important point over here. The only point which is coming out over here, and of course they've quoted Justice Ahmadi and they've quoted lots of other legal luminaries, but that's neither here nor there. That's like quoting case law, and case law can be twisted and turned to suit, to suit any occasion anyway. You're a lawyer yourself. You've quoted case law in court so many times. So the same cases can, can be quoted for exactly the opposite argument by, a clever lawyer. But at the end of the day, in terms of jurisdiction, SEBI, that is Securities and Exchange Board of India, the Ministry of Corporate Affairs and the Finance Ministry will have to come out with a very clear-cut divide as to what lies where. But in this particular case, because it's an IPO, it's an initial public offering, it's you yourself have submitted, your red herring prospectus. You yourself have gone to SEBI. You yourself have gone for the fact that you want to raise a certain sum of money, and even over there, I believe there is some dispute. They say they've questioned the fact, about the 40,000 crores that we talked about yesterday. कि 40,000 crore है नहीं है, but of course it is not made clear as to what is the exact amount of the IPO. That is also not very, very clear as to exact amount that is being sought to be raised from the market. That is also not very clear from the statement of Sahara. But at the end of the day, for Sahara to react in such a violent manner, that means they're rattled. That means, really and truly speaking, somewhere down the line, there's a lot of anger over there. Pradeep.
Sir, if you, very wisely and look, the entire order is a detailed order. It has not come overnight. He has worked. It's a 34-page order. It doesn't come overnight. In that, the point highlighted and raised by the whole time member is absolutely true. You have raised 5,000 crores by the way of private circulation, by circumventing the entire market mechanisms. In that particular order is clear, this would be a mockery of the entire capital market framework and established mechanisms to protect investors' interest. Now you're talking about investors' interest. Now if this is not the first, in the order it also mentions where Sara India Real Estate Corporation has raised around 5,000 crores. They also mentioned that Sara India Commercial Corporation Limited during the year 2008-2009 has raised 6,922 crores.
Yes.
Now we are not talking about small amounts as private circulation. He's right when he says such huge amount of money, if it can be accumulated by deposit mobilization by the way of private circulation, then why do you need the entire process of the institution of SEBI? Why do you need the IPO guidelines? Why do you need the entire SEBI Act or IPO guidelines or disclosure norms? There's no need. If a company can by private circulation do deposit mobilization to the tune of combined 10,000 crore on its own, then why is the institution, what is the need of the institution of SEBI at all? Because anyway he's raising the money by the way of private circulation to such huge quantities. I mean, you're talking about huge quantity of money.
That's right.
So he says the entire mechanism is also questionable. I mean, why are we here for? Why are the laws in place? Why the SEBI Act in place? To see that these things are absolutely transparent and clear. If you come with an IPO of 10,000 crores and on your own through private circulation, you are already accumulated around 10,000 crores and you got the capacity to accumulate by circumventing the entire guidelines, that it puts a question mark about the entire laws of the capital market itself. And he also stated the entire last 2 years, 60 companies have collectively collected around 27,000 crores, and these two companies want to collect around 40,000 crores. 40,000 crores, and if this is not put to scrutiny of SEBI, if everything in the application is not put to scrutiny, then, I mean, we are not serving the interest for which the entire institution has come up for.
That's right.
That's what he has mentioned in his order. It will be a mockery of the entire capital market framework and establish mechanisms to protect the investors if private circulation to such huge amounts are allowed and undetected. And when a question mark is put, if you look the entire thing, as you said, the legal opinions are come for private circulation.
That's
but
right.
SEBI challenges it. But how such huge quantum of money can be accumulated by the way of private circulation? It says more than 50, SEBI says, the whole time member says more than 50, it is a public issue. You only accumulate 4,000 or 4,834 crores in case of Sara India Real Estate Corporation. This huge amount is a private circulation. That means around 49 people have invested to the tune of 4,834 crores. And in Sara India Commercial Corporation,